Welcome back to Collaboration Conversations. I'm your host, Regina Partain Bergman, CEO of Bridgeport Strategy. Delighted to have another panel of guests with us today, and also my guest co-host. And today is a special day for me for this with this guest co-host. We have been doing things together for several years now. Neither one of us can remember exactly how long. We're going to have to look that up one of these days, but at least 3 or 4 years probably we've been together and doing different things. And she is, first of all, an amazing individual, and I love how we have been able to share a journey together for these 3 or 4 years here. My guest today is my good friend, Barbara Ellison. She is she has the wellness playroom, and that's all I'm going to tell you about her because I want you to hear from her. And so, Barb, welcome to the show. Thank you for saying yes to being a guest co-host today.
Oh, I'm so excited to do this. Regina and I talk to each other every week,
Yeah,
and
multiple times.
multiple times a week. And it's always fun when we sit down and say, "Oh yeah, oh we've done this together and we've done that together." And so this is just one more thing that we just have loved doing together,
Yes,
planning it, getting the guests, doing all the fun things. She is my mentor and my friend, and it has just been absolutely an amazing relationship. But as Regina said, my name is Barbara Ellison. I'm a transformational life trainer. I'm founder of Wellness Playroom for the best version of you. And I work with late career professionals who are now facing retirement and they have no idea of who they are outside of their job description. And the biggest concern is what am I going to do once I don't have that job title or job description? Will I be relevant? Will I be effective? Will I be respected? Those kinds of things. From some of the lots of times from the stress, their body is falling apart. So I help them with that. But there's also a financial need. Lots of times, one part of the stress is that, oh, how am I going to pay for my lifestyle and support my family when I don't have the job? So it has been a blessing to see the light bulb go on when people say, "Oh, I can do this," and they're feeling better, and they know who they are, and it's like, oh, and then they're looking forward to retirement. That they're thriving and having a good time, which is what we're supposed to do in our retirement. So that's me in
exactly.
a nutshell.
Thank you, Barb. Would you introduce each of our guests, have them tell a bit about their journey, who they serve, and why?
Absolutely. Well, I'll start with my good friend and buddy who I don't know, we met, oh yeah, I don't know how many years ago, Shelley. And we have had absolutely an amazing journey together. We have done several things together. We've done several ventures together. And so she's going to tell you all about her, how we met, and just what she does. And it's great. I love it.
Thank you, Barb. I think we've known each other 15 years.
Woo!
Um, I was talking to someone today about how I celebrated my 50th birthday, which was in Light Warrior Camp, which is a Peak Potentials course. Barbara and I met at a Peak Potentials course called Train the Trainer, where you master public speaking, working the room, making sure the energy in the room is up. And we were roommates, didn't know each other, and we just connected. Like, we're just like soul sisters. It's pretty freaking awesome. My journey is back in the day. I had a mortgage company, and then when the mortgage meltdown happened, I lost everything overnight, trying to keep everybody employed. At that time, there was no stim money to help out employers, and I ended up pivoting and going into a health and wellness company that is phenomenal, and it served me very well. But now another economic upturn, and people are in the same situation I am. So I am helping individuals and businesses combat inflation and the devastating impacts of all the things that have happened to all of us the last few years. So I do ERC tax refunds, I do the self-employment stim money for 1099 people. And the thing I'm really excited about that I think most of your people would be interested in is we are going to be disrupting the banking industry, the evil empire. I mean, We need banks, but there is a way to support community banks to double the buying power of the consumer, put more money in your pocket, make your money go further. There's just a whole bunch that goes along with that. I'm super, super, super excited. Part of the launch of that, and it has got me fired up. Like I didn't go to bed till like midnight last night. I'm 60. I don't need to be up till midnight. And yet I'm so excited about what we're doing and the way we can transform people's finances. And for anybody who's got a challenge with money and you say money's not that important, you know what? It's kind of like oxygen. You take it for granted till you don't have it. And when you don't have it, it becomes a leading source of stress, relational dysfunction, health dysfunction, emotional trauma, you name it. Money is important, and we need to be good stewards of what we have to make what we have go further and then use that to impact the world. So that's kind of what me and what I'm about.
Awesome. Oh, Barb, you're muted.
Sorry. I love editing. Anyways, yes, next on my screen is Barry Bevier. We are in a branding group together, and we are both working on our branding, so he will tell you about that. But we just kind of hit it off and had a great conversation, and we've been seeing each other off and on through Rich Brands. And so I just was like, oh, he would be great because number one, he's a man. Love it. And, has a different point of view. He's in wellness and yet a different point of view. So this is awesome. So Barry, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Barbara. Glad to be here. And so we met earlier this year in Rich's Brand Accelerator program, which is it's amazing. If you are thinking about your own brand, Rich really helps you take it to the next level. And I spent 35 years in engineering before I got into the wellness area, and went through 2 companies rebranding and thought I knew a little bit about rebranding, and I think I do, but Rich just takes it to the next level. So anyway, sorry for the pitch for Richard. I'm Barry Bevier. I live in South Carolina. I've spent most of my life in Southern California in civil engineering, owned my own company for a while, and pretty successful in that business. And the short part of the story of how I got into wellness is in 2000, I married a wonderful woman that had been diagnosed with lupus about 10 years earlier. She was doing okay, treated with pharmaceuticals, which were starting to take their side effects. And in 2009, so we've been together almost 10 years, her health started to go downhill very rapidly with liver and kidney disease caused by the pharmaceuticals from the doctors that were treating her, not just my own opinion. And she passed away of a brain hemorrhage in the summer of 2010 when she was 46. Way too early. And, I'd always been healthy myself, never on any drugs. My parents, the same way. I don't even remember my grandparents being on any medications. And so all of what pharmaceuticals do to you with side effects was something that I was learning about. And so a few years later, after she passed away, I got out of engineering. I started studying wellness and spent 10 years in self-study with wellness, and with the mission of having the education myself and developing the resources to be able to share that with others, so what happened to my family doesn't happen to them. I truly believe if I would have known 15 years ago what I know today and the resources that are available, Linda would still be around. And so that's what got me into the wellness arena. In 2012, I was introduced to a company called StemTech. They were the first company to bring stem cell nutrition to the world, nutritional supplements, all from botanicals, all plant-based, that release your own adult stem cells. So they were really at the cutting edge of all what you hear about stem cells today and what stem cells can do for health and wellness and slowing down the aging process. And then as as I got older, as my friends got older, our parents' generation, I started seeing a lot of people having some even minor memory issues. And I happened to meet Dr. Daniel Amen, who is a psychiatrist in Southern California. He has clinics throughout the U.S. that, for the most part, he says only as a last resort does he use pharmaceuticals to treat his patients. And so 4 years ago, I enrolled in a program that he put on with Dr. Joseph McClendon, who's a neuropsychologist, called Brain Revolution. So I learned all about the brain, all about what we do, what we need to do to love our brain, to keep it healthy, and all of the modalities that he uses to with his patients. And so I'm a licensed brain health trainer through Amen Clinics, and am working in that area as well. So all in wellness, and am having fun sharing it with others, and seeing them improve their health and slow down the aging process.
Wow, thank you, Barry. So first of all, so sorry for the loss of your wife. My deepest sympathies there. Sounds like you have done some amazing things to help prevent that from happening to others. Thank you. Barbara? Still muted. We are live, folks. This is what happens. It's all good. See if I can do anything on my end, Barb. I don't think so.
Okay. All
There
right,
you
now.
go.
You love. Okay, can we edit? Duh. Anyways,
No,
yeah.
we're live, and then I tell people this is what we get: raw and real and live,
Well,
and life
and
happens.
we love
right?
technology when it works, and we love technology when it doesn't.
That's right. She reminds me of that frequently because my saying used to be quite different on the second half of that.
Yeah. Anyways, want to introduce you to Casey Hamilton. I've loved talking to Casey. I think we've talked several times. Met her in another group, in the branding group, but she just makes absolute sense. And she's in like with Shelly that, hey, let's change the money market and how we can take back control of our money. And she has a great thing about getting paid for our content. And I am excited about hearing all about that and working that as I get my stuff all together. And so I'm excited. So Casey, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Barbara and Regina. Thank you both for having me here. And it's really awesome to meet you. Shelly, what you said definitely got me excited. I look forward to talking with you afterwards because I think there could be some amazing collaboration with what we're both doing to help people take their power back financially. And when it comes to our data, data is the new oil. Data is the money maker of the future. And we're definitely in an information and a data war. And if you have been on the internet lately, you can see that these dark forces have taken control of our internet, and they're censoring people, and they're censoring cures for healing and different things like that, which is how I got into my line of work. Is, I had a son that had some major health issues. And when I started to learn about the holistic therapies that I could use with him, I shared that on my Facebook and started getting censored and grounded and just treated like, completely unacceptable. And so I started looking for, as an aspiring entrepreneur, other ways to monetize my content and my message, where I didn't feel like I was playing in what I call Satan's playground right now. So I found some Web3 blockchain-based social media and advertising platforms that are part of this budding ecosystem that I call the next evolution of our internet. As more and more corruption is exposed about, Instagram and Facebook and a lot of these platforms that are doing this absolutely unacceptable practices, I decided to create an offer around showing people how to take their brand to the blockchain so that we can own our data and we can monetize on platforms that actually share revenue with the content creator per engagement. So the next evolution of our internet is going to have micropayments. So every single time you get a like, every single time you get a share or comment, there's actually a monetization, little like 3 cents or something that comes along with that, directly peer-to-peer from my wallet to yours. So it's really exciting. I call it Web3. And it is just, like I said, so new that for the content creators that have really important content, it gives us an opportunity to saturate this new internet with all of the really important stuff before all the crazy stuff shows up. And, it also gives us the ability to establish ourselves as an authority on these budding platforms that, you're not totally saturated by all the other stuff that's on traditional ones that we know of. But these look and feel just like ones we're completely used to. So it's not, really hard to use. I say this is the blockchain your grandma could use. And I just have an expedited onboarding service where I click by click help you get started to where all you got to do is start duplicating the content you're already creating on other platforms and put them on these. So it's just, this is the revolution. This is what we need to do. And as parents and grandparents to, a lot of these kids, we have to help them play in safer environments.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm just excited to meet with her and just get all this stuff done. Anyway,
Yeah.
next on my screen is Eve Ruiz. I met her on another networking group of Manny Lopez. We did a big networking, first time I had ever been on his platform of networking, and Eve was one of the ones that it was like, and we just hit it off, and it was like, ooh. I invited her like right on the spot. I said, you need to come on. So here we are. We just clicked. So Rui, Eve, can't stop. I'm trying to combine your names. Eve, welcome.
Thank you so much. It's really an honor to be here, Barbara. So the quicker version of my story is that since being a toddler, knew that I wanted to help heal people because of the pediatrician who took care of me and the way I saw my parents respect and treat him. I love the concept of making people even better, uplifting them. And that theme has carried throughout my life, even as I went through a top 10 medical school, UCLA, and then did not only one residency in family medicine, but then a second one in psychiatry. I noticed that we were certainly helping we were helping droves of people. And I remember feeling accomplished that now I was able to help save lives because it takes a village, right? We have all the support system within the medical field to carry this purpose out. Just as Jonas Salk and other heroes from the past helped to save many lives in the past. The thing is that I also was growing in sophistication of knowledge, meaning that I was steeped in medicine, but at the same time was learning about Tibetan medicine, Chinese medicine, and others. I love the concept of not limiting ourselves to one method. So I went rogue from medicine, not because it's terribly wrong, because I learned a lot and a lot of people have benefited. However, what I'm doing is I am tag teaming other forms of healing and therapy to be able to help people. So I am now an entrepreneur who calls myself an empowerment or a leadership empowerment mentor, because what I do is a lot of what I was doing in both family medicine and in psychiatry was I help people to overcome their circumstances by helping them with coping mechanisms, with instilling hope, with breathing in a bit more faith for them to hold for themselves so that they gain the confidence and the competence to overcome whatever and then to achieve more than they ever thought possible. And as a subset of this, because there were a lot of women coming to me, the first one was my mother when I was a child. However, in family medicine, I was hearing about wives, mothers who were dealing with a partner who really was overbearing in a way. But of course, what we're talking about is only a fraction of the population, but this is a fraction that intrigued me because I didn't see that we were trained as readily to care for them. And so what I mean by difficult or toxic is simply that these people tended to manipulate, tended to lie, and tended to take advantage of others with no real sense of boundaries. They could be overt about it, or they could be really clandestine. And I wanted to help equip people, and not just women, anyone, because there are no socioeconomic or psychodemographic boundaries to this. There are some people who are going to want to be more narcissistic, and they are going to lord or attempt to lord their power over others just to have their life the way they see it perfect for them. I am then also a narcissism expert, not just because I went through lots of psychiatric training, because I'll tell you, like I said, it takes a village. The physicians who are charging for certain diagnoses are not as well trained or deeply trained in the subtleties of what everyday narcissism can look like. So that's why I am out here as an entrepreneur doing a lot of private one-on-one coaching or mentorship. I say mentorship more than coaching because I also do healing with you. I don't just do the therapy, and I don't just do the education and training. I get it all in one big enchilada. It's very important to me to do this. Why? Because I found myself in the top 2% of educated Americans. And I did not realize at first that I was in a narcissistic relationship. So I feel that if I have finally come to figure this out, I owe it to the global community to help give a hand up to someone else, as I would have loved someone to have given me had someone been knowledgeable and accessible. I just want to help raise that curve of awareness in society so that we can lift each other up, so the people in this position not only can rise up, but role model for their children and the next generation how to avoid the pitfalls of being in narcissistic relationships. Thank you.
That's so important.
So important.
Thank you.
And one of the things for me, I didn't realize until afterwards that my first marriage that I was a codependent.
Yes.
And you don't know it until you're out of it. You don't know it until you're out of it. And all of a sudden it was like, I cannot go on like this for another minute.
Thank you.
And it was like, but until I had made that decision, I didn't realize how toxic it was.
And that is what's so key. That's why I thirst to be able to reach audiences with workshops, just to give them the superficial education for beginners, just so people can know, hey, this is what's happening to me. I'm not just being a nice person and doing the good Christian or whatever thing. I am actually getting lured into something, and I'm giving up more of myself than I'm conscious of right now. That is very important to know.
Yeah. So awesome.
Yeah. Wow. What a panel. Barb, thank you so much for bringing this group together. This is going to be fun. So, as I've listened to all of you, and many of you used the term collaboration in your introduction, or you saw somebody else here on the show already that you want to collaborate with you. What excites you the most about collaborating with others? Why do you want to do that? What excites you? Feel free to unmute and tell us. Eve?
Oh, thank you. What excites me about that is, just continuing on my theme, I am the first to say, I clearly know I don't know everything there is to know. You're humbled as a physician. You learned that fast in medical school. And from there, what I am most excited about is that I can actually just reach out and touch and bring in someone to fill in the gaps that I've got, because I want to help people to the greatest possible extent. And I know the most quality way to do that is to outsource. Where I end, someone else begins and can overlap with me.
Right.
Absolutely.
And everyone
That's
benefits.
beautiful. Yes. Beautiful. Shelley?
So I don't even know what I don't know.
That's true for most of us.
I literally, from each one of the panelists, I'm taking notes because I
Yeah.
learned something just in the introduction.
Right.
And so you're never, if you're your own ecosystem, it never gets bigger or better than you are. And so I
True.
love the idea of collaborating with other people, learning new things. And so many things can be integrated that you wouldn't even think go together.
Mhm.
And the result is absolutely spectacular. Plus, those relationships bless my life in amazing, amazing ways. So, those are my things. You become like the people you hang around with. You never want to be the smartest person in the room. And if you are, you need to go find another room.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, when you're searching for people to collaborate with, I'm always able to find and elevate my game with my associations. And I think it's a compliment to Barbara. Like, I think we've both grown a lot in the last 15 years,
Yeah.
and we haven't outgrown each other because we're both on that journey.
Right.
If that
Yeah.
makes sense. I see that as a huge compliment because a lot of people from my past don't have that same mindset.
Right.
And so collaboration is how you get to the next level. I love the concept of leveling up this 1% every single day.
Yeah.
And you
Love
do
that.
that in a huge way through collaboration. That's one of the top 3 ways to do it.
Fantastic. One of the things Barb and I have talked about many times is seeing the light go on, whether it's in yourself or someone else, as
Yeah.
you have those collaborations, those conversations, those times that you are learning from other people.
Well, and it's
Um,
the kind of information that changes your behavior with no effort because it evolves your spirit. I really
Love
feel
that.
like we need an evolution of consciousness, and the revolution that we need will not be televised. We have to do this kind of collaboration in order to achieve that together. So I really, think it's critical to focus on, the spirit and connecting each other at that spiritual level so that we can, win this war that we're in. It's clearly a spiritual warfare we're all going through right now. And
Yes.
it's not just the physical body that needs healing. It's consciousness, and our spirits need to awaken and take our power back.
Amen.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think I love being able to collaborate with people because I love helping others. And in my engineering business, we had a very specialized niche, geotechnical engineering, and so most of our clients were other engineering companies. So we're collaborating with them, to get the work, but also to help them get their jobs done, their designs done properly. And then, in the wellness business, I mean, with STEM Tech is a network marketing company. That's, that business platform is nothing but collaboration, because I'm not going to do well in my business unless other people the people on my team do well. And so I'm helping them. I'm helping them do well, and it just rolls up to me automatically.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely. Barb, how about you?
I think collaboration for me is just as Eve said, is just filling in the gaps of what I know. And like I always say, you don't know what you don't know until someone else tells you something that you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And if we do not collaborate with each other, we cannot possibly know what somebody else does. And every time we learn something new, and in fact, this morning I was on a networking thing, and we were talking about our word for the year. And so several people said, that they're going to collaborate more, they're going to learn more, they're going to do whatever it is. But in order to learn something, you need other people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You learn from other people. And I have realized that my phrase for the year is to listen and then leap. I am so excited about the things that other people are going to help me leap into, because they're going to be the expert. I don't need to be the expert. I just need to be willing to start learning, listening to what they're saying, which is where this show comes in. listen to what they're doing, and then leap into what they're doing if it's the right thing for me that can help me move me forward.
Yeah.
And I think that's what the basis of collaboration is.
Barbara, can I thank you so much? That was a beautiful, quotable phrase you said. May I put a post on that? I'll put your name on it.
Sure.
I love it.
Micro collaboration right now. Share the light, spread it.
I love it.
Yeah.
We're talking about collaborating with one another and growing our knowledge and helping more people. But there's another level of collaboration that occurs here that I'm thinking of. Eve, you triggered it. Barry, you triggered it. And that is collaboration with our clients.
Yeah.
What does that look like for you? And what is that? How do you change the world by collaborating with your clients? Anybody?
Well, I'll start for me, if
All
that's
right.
okay. One of the things that I absolutely love about this next evolution of our internet is the revenue sharing. It's just built in. Everyone knows what an MLM is, and that is its own ball game. But these social media platforms that are emerging, they have a built-in revenue sharing, not only for the content creator, as I create an awesome post and start earning micropayments for that engagement, but for everyone else that I onboard and show how to use these platforms as well, I can earn passive income off of their growth on the platforms. So it's just allows for such beautiful collaboration because it's a win-win for all involved. And it cleans up the energy exchange that we're all doing with each other in so many beautiful ways. I love, passive income. I think that's a huge goal for everyone, not trading our time for money. And the fact that you can earn it just from empowering others makes it just absolutely a beautiful, like I said, win-win for all involved, including the content platforms. So
Yeah.
Love that.
I think Shelley mentioned it. One of my favorite sayings is, "You don't know what you don't know." And when Linda and I were married, we were very health conscious. We thought the way we were eating and living our lives was healthy, and it probably was. We were probably living a healthier lifestyle than 80%, 90% of the people in the country. However, for her condition, it wasn't enough. And so, we should work in our area of expertise and bring in people to help us that do the things that we don't do, right? And so, if we're going to be successful in our business, we have to satisfy someone's need. I mean, if we're selling a product and they don't have a need for it, they aren't going to buy it, right? And so by collaborating with others and knowing what they can provide, and with me, it's different things in the wellness area, but also just other areas of life. When I meet someone and find out what their need is, if I can't satisfy it, I've got a team of people that I've collaborated with, that I feel comfortable with, that I know are not going to harm my reputation if I recommend them, to give them, to pass them their information along to the people, because they can satisfy a need that I can't. And to me, that's a big thing with collaboration. It's not about competition. It's about everybody helping everybody and lifting us all up to the next level.
Right.
For me, I think it kind of comes under the heading that I think it was Zig Ziglar that said, when you help enough people get what they want, you will automatically get what you want.
Yep.
And I love when and these are the payments of the heart. When I have somebody who calls me and says, "Oh, Jack told me today," my friend Susan called me and said, "Jack got up by himself today." Oh, wow. That made my day.
Barbara, that's emotional income.
That's the emotional
I love that term.
income.
I love that.
And that's what I think that's what we get from collaborating with our clients and with other fellows. And one of the things I said to one of the gals that I was talking to this morning, there are 7 billion people on this planet. There is room for all of us
Mm-hmm.
to make a difference. But when we shine our light, because as Barry just said, the thing that we do, the thing that I do might not be for everybody. What Barry does might not be for everybody, but it will be for somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And there's plenty for all of us.
Yeah, one of the, Eve, you said Manny Lopez, one of his phrases is serve your way to success. And I love that. He's actually one of the entrepreneurs that I've onboarded. He's been helping 38,000 day one entrepreneurs, orphans that are aging out of the foster care system, learn how to become entrepreneurs, and has his first Web3 school of business that we're going to be taking what I do to all of those students. So it's just the collaboration there is going to change so many kids in needs lives. I'm just so blessed, but I love that serve your way to success. It's such a beautiful feeling. At the end of the day, when you lay your head on the pillow, you really feel like you made a change in this world.
And won't it be awesome when that becomes the world philosophy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a huge piece behind this show. Go ahead, Eve. Please.
I'm so sorry. I was just so moved. I had to respond to Casey. No, I just want to thank you for bringing up one of my prime entrepreneurial role models and letting his light shine in here, because indeed he is such a beautiful human being, really a beautiful soul inside his human form. And I have benefited. I have been going to his meetings for years. I've got him on my website. His, what do you call this icon? I'm a techie dunce, but I outsource for that.
You collaborate.
And yes. And I have collaborated with a lot of people that he has brought on stage, as well as with him. And he has served as one of my backbones for my vocation. And I love that.
He's a wonderful guy. I'm actually about to start working with him on a more regular basis. So
wonderful.
I'm excited for it. He's just doing big things in the world. And obviously we all know what a problem our foster care system is. And so for him to be targeting that niche, helping those children, I mean, obviously they need help while in the foster care system, but when they get out, what is it? They get a plastic bag on the front porch and say, good luck. So we have to serve them. They need help. And I mean, I am the daughter of 2 heroin addicts. My mother passed away when I was 2 from a heroin overdose. And I thankfully didn't go into the foster care system. I was given to some family members, but who knows what could have happened to me. So I feel like I am one of those people that he's helped and is helping. And I bless his spirit so much for that. What he's doing, the work and what he's doing in the world is just critically important. We're failing the youth in so many different ways.
Yes, we are.
It's our job to clean that up.
Kelly? Oh, go ahead, please.
I just said it's our job to clean that up. I mean, we have to be very active in that mission. So
yeah, absolutely. One of my clients has a nonprofit that she's starting in New Mexico to work with kids who've come out of high school who are just not ready for the world. They're either, they've been in the foster care system, or they're in a bad home environment. They're on the streets, whatever that may be. And so she is starting a nonprofit, and she was a school teacher for 24 years herself.
So she's seen a lot.
And so she has seen a lot and has developed tools to help them. You're right. This is an area we need to spend a lot of time in, a lot of attention. Shelley, you had a thought about, how we serve our clients, how we collaborate with our clients?
Well, I'm always looking for, and so full disclosure, when I said I had a health business, it's network marketing. I love network marketing. I'm one of those nuts. I love recurring income. I love leveraged income. I love the community. I love the positivity about it. I am the biggest fan of that whole industry, and it is all about collaboration. You don't make money till you help somebody else make money. And again, the health, the emotional income, when you help someone transform their health, oh my gosh. So, but the thing is, there's a stigma. And I think it is unwarranted. I think it is unfair. I think it is old news, because there were abuses in the past, but this industry has cleaned itself up. And I think the people who are attracted to it are people who want to make a difference. But there's a lot of people who are like this when you
Oh, yeah.
approach them, if they even smell it, right?
Yeah.
And so what I have found is in order to make people receptive to hear me talk when I'm presenting my wellness solutions or my network marketing opportunity, I need to lead with the giving hand. And that means find out what your needs are and can I get if you a referral. If I can't make a purchase or do your program or whatever, I want to be able to send you the next person who can. And I think
Beautiful.
because I started it just because it made people open to meeting with me and listening to me. And what I found is it is just you pay it here, it comes back to you over here.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
It's all pay it forward, and it all comes back to you from someone else. It's just an incredible way to live, to do business, to do life. And you surround yourself, again, the people you surround yourself with are so important. Surround yourself with people who have that mentality. Your quality of life is magnificent.
Yeah.
The law of reaping and sowing. It is cosmic law.
And so it's all, and so collaboration is just rebranding that.
Yeah, very good. Very good. Barry, you mentioned something. We don't have time to take it up as a round, but I think it's important to bring it out. And that's the qualifying of our collaborations. You know, you talked about, you know, willing to refer people, providing that person is going to serve them well. And I think that's so important that we do qualify our collaborative endeavors, you know, who we're collaborating with. And I think a lot of times that comes back to our values. Would you all agree with that? That there's a huge component of our values. Are we in alignment with them? But it is important that we do that. And it's also important if we find ourselves in a collaboration that turns out it's not as aligned as we thought it was, that we be willing to step away from it, be willing to exit that collaboration.
Yes.
You know, so I've had to do that, and that's not fun, but it's important. And Shelley.
I think sometimes we don't even have to formally exit. We can just stop following up.
Depending upon the situation, yes.
Yeah, depending on the situation. Sometimes you have to have that adult conversation, but a lot of times it's just a matter of if I'm not the one initiating, then people will fall off. And I do pick and choose. So
definitely. You
have
have
sometimes
to.
people fall through the cracks, and that's unintentional. But there's more than a few where it's intentional that's going on.
Yeah. Folks, you're not going to believe it, but we're out of time.
No.
Already.
I have had people. Whoops. Okay,
ahead,
that was
Barb.
mine. That was obviously my internet that went. I have had people who have come on, and then it turned out to be that it was all about me. And they came on like to one of my podcasts, and it was just all about me, and they were determined to do their sales pitch, and no, this is about making a difference. You know, like my podcast is about making a difference in the world. It's not for somebody to come and sell what they do,
right?
And really hard. But my co-host and I, we just said, you know what? We're going to pull it down.
Yeah, don't air that one. You're in control.
You're in
control.
And we just looked at each other and went, yeah, I mean, this is on a major streaming. And it was like, yeah, no, we're pulling this down because we don't. And yet,
it's not who you are.
It was not who we were. And we just kind of looked at each other and said, are we really going to do this? And it was like, yes. We are.
And good for you for having the integrity to do that.
To defend your boundary. Important.
Defend our boundary.
Very, very important.
Yeah.
Well, folks, we have reached the end here, and we're ready to do our wrap-up round. So I am going to ask our co-host, Miss Barb, to run the wrap up round for us. And the wrap up round consists of, she's going to call on each of you, and she's going to do this for herself as well. You decide, Barb, if you're first or last. But she's going to ask each of you to share your final thoughts about collaboration and your contact information. And while you're going through that round, I'm going to put your contact information into the chat so everybody has it as well. But we do definitely want you to give that out as part of your wrap up round. Barb, take it away.
Well, let's start at the last and go backwards again. Eve, this has been such a pleasure to have you on. And so what would be your final last words about collaboration, and how can people reach out to you?
Thank you so much. First, I think Casey and I collaborated really well with our interior designers. We have a banging job here, spreading the light.
Yes, we sure did.
Absolutely. Oneness in mind and heart and soul. And this is really the goal for me when I am reaching out to the people that I want to help. You know, we are saying a lot about how collaboration is an exchange or a sharing of energy. That energy for me is love. This is today's currency for me. It's been the currency in my entire life. Some people that I know just don't understand that. They shy away. But to me, what we're doing is we are sharing our high vibe, our interests, our enthusiasm, and our love for our community, as well as for ourselves, by working together to raise everyone up higher. And for anyone who is interested in anything that I've mentioned, I would absolutely love to have a complimentary chat with you. We would be talking about either a narcissistic relationship that you think you might be in or that you have left, but you're having trouble really getting your gears going to restart your life, but you know that you've got power in you. You just need to tap into it again. I'm there for you. If you are an entrepreneur or a pro, I have corporate clients for my one-on-one. If you need help with asserting your boundaries the way Barbara was just talking about, you know, you go through all that prep, put in the time, put in the energy, and boom, you decide, no, this is not what we stand for. This is not going to represent us. This is outside our integrity. So we pull it down. For help with things like this, come give me a chat and we can see where it goes from there. At the very least, I am sharing my love with you, and I hope that you carry that and let it bless you the way other people's love has blessed me. The way to reach me is to text me at 949-424-4494. And if you happen to be in the group that is interested in knowing more about narcissism, you can go to my website, Eve Ruiz, and that is spelled just like you see down here, YVE and then .RUIZ at yahoo.com.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Cool. So Casey, last word of wisdom that you have for us, and share with people how people can get.
Thank you. Yeah, I just would say it is beyond time that we take our power back online and own our data, and not letting these companies exploit us and our data on these platforms and our children is, you know, really what's happening. So you can go to takeyourbrandtotheblockchain.com, and I give a free introduction to the MetaNet presentation, which is what they're calling this next evolution of our internet. It's just a 30 to 60 minute Zoom call where I just show you the platforms you can use, and we go from there. No expectation, and just showing you around how you can get started. So thank you so much for having me. This has been really great. I look forward to connecting with all of you individually.
Cool. All right. Well, Miss Shelley, as always, such a blast to have you on to sit and chat with you. So tell us your last words of wisdom, and how can people get in touch with you?
On collaboration, the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. And so if you think of the Beatles, like, you know, it's just better with all of them. And I think when we're collaborating with people, we get that same kind of synergy. In wellness, it's the synergy of the herbs that make things activate your cells to do amazing things. So I love the synergy that comes with collaboration. In terms of getting a hold of me, I love the idea of texting. Beautiful. My cell is 719-209-0197, or my email. And get a hold of me, because if we meet, we'll just do like a get to know each other thing. I'm going to be looking for how can I help you move forward in XYZ or with your business. So, so my email is Shelly Piaggio, and that is a mouthful. S is in super, H is in helpful, E is in excellent, L is in likable, L is in lovable, Y is in yes, P is in perfect, I is in incredible, A is in awesome, G is in goodness, G is in great, I is in imaginative, and O is in oh my gosh. Gmail.com. So ShellyPiaggio.com.
Love it. That's awesome.
That was so much fun. I'm going to email you just to get that high again.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? It's kind of weird because I'm like telemarketers, and I go when I'm doing my last name, I go, and then I have fun with the alliteration where it's, or the sound, not alliteration, but when the sounds are hard. So I play that both ways. But I do want people to remember it for this.
Perfect. Well, Barry, has always a pleasure to have you.
Anna.
So share with us your final words and where people can get in touch with you.
Thank you. This has been a blast. I love it. Take your health into your own hands. Don't let our food system, our medical system, the doctors, the pharmaceutical companies brainwash you into the idea that you have to go their way. You can eat better, you can be healthier, you can feel better when you learn how to do it. And it's just it's not complicated. It may not be easy to change those habits. And I think when people ask me, what's the most important thing about better health, I say mindset. You got to change your mindset to be able to do it. And then from a collaboration standpoint, enter into the relationship with love and giving, and no expectations of getting anything back. And I think that's in many or all walks of life, really. But with collaboration, if you just give, offer people what you have, help them. I think Barbara said it. If you help enough, Zig Ziglar, if you help enough people get what they are looking for, it will come back to you. So, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. For myself, I think one of the biggest things is that I say it all the time is we can't do life on our own. We really can't. So why not collaborate with the other people that are around us for whatever it is, whether it's our faith or our health or our finances or whatever that looks like. When we can become a team, then everybody wins. I mean, it's like all boats rise with the tide. We can all help each other, and that's where collaboration and teamwork and just, to me, this is the best form of, number one, advertising what we do, getting visibility for what we do, and bringing some joy and laughter. I mean, and having fun talking to other people. We just happen to be doing it on a platform.
Yeah.
So, and we can impact so many more people. The best place to get in touch with me is on LinkedIn, Barbara Ellison, Wellness Playroom. And just reach out to me, or you can text me at 815-200-9572.
Fantastic. And just before we sign off, go ahead.
I didn't say how to get a hold of me. I'm on LinkedIn, just Barry Bevier. You could also text me at 619-980-1998. I'm also on Facebook, and my email is barry@barrybevier.com. So you've got my name on the screen there. It's very simple. So thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you. This has been wonderful, folks. I've truly enjoyed getting to know each of you a little bit here and hearing how you are changing the world through collaboration. We did have one person put in some comments early on in the show, Craig Carvalho. He said, wow, thank you, Jesus Christ. And he said, no one wants to speak truth anymore. And he said, in the beginning, God. So those are the comments that we had so far. Again, thank you, all of you, for being here. Barb, thank you for agreeing to be our guest co-host today and for bringing these amazing people together. And folks, we will see you next time on Collaboration Conversations. Thank you, and have a very Merry Christmas. Bye for now.
Bye, everybody.
Have a Merry Christmas.